Yes, guys, a warm greetings to you all, and we are back from Biopoint. And now we are starting the question bank. That is a question discussion of each and every chapter of Bio. Okay, guys, and we are moving forward from your favorite and my favorite Biopoint stream, the world of Bio. The question bank, along with Biopoint, is back. Yes, guys, we are moving forward to this amazing session of question discussion. Yes, in the previous lecture, we have told that soon after the one shot is over, we will do the question bank. So now we are coming back with this question bank discussion as a premiering on YouTube on the chapter life process. So what we say about life process, the four process that you have to learn in this is the mode of nutrition, mode of respiration, transportation, as well as excretion. So these are the four process that you have to learn in this chapter life process and some of the most detailed parts of all these process. Clear with that? So now we are moving on to the amazing question discussion. First on the screen there will be the question so that you may be prepared to be answered, and soon after the time we will move on to the answering session without wasting much of your time. Yes, we are moving forward to the first question of the day. Let's check it. Yes, it's a 2019 question. Write three types of blood vessels and give one of the important feature. Give one important feature of each. We have to give an important feature of each of those blood vessels. Clear with that? So, what are those three blood vessels? Once again, yeah, those three types of blood vessels. If we say about that, all of you know they are arteries, veins, and capillaries, right? And one thing you have to know is to write the important feature of each of them. So let's check the answer. The three types of blood vessels are arteries, veins, and capillaries. And their features, what we say about arteries, they have a thick outer wall, a narrow lumen, and valves are absent and they are deeply seated. Whereas in case of veins, they are superficial, right? So they are just found below the skin, and they are thin walled, and valves are present in order to prevent the backflow of blood. Capillaries, they are one cell thick. They are formed due to the union of arteries and veins, right? So this is one of the important question, and we are moving on to the questions of this chapter. Let's check what is ahead. Next question, same in the 2019. A student is observing the temporary mount of a leaf peel under microscope. Draw a label diagram of the structure of stomata as seen in microscope. So what asked is that you are asked to draw the structure of a stomata, and what you should do when asked to draw, you should have a label diagram. A neat, clear label diagram should be drawn. Okay, so what next we say about that is you have to have a guard cells guarding the pore opening known as the stomata. Clear with that? So this is the answer, or this is the figure that you should draw. When stomata is open and when stomata is closed. An epidermal cell, a thick inner wall, gas vacuole, nucleus, guard cells, stomatal pore, chloroplast, all those things. And then yeah, all these things are what you have to label and mark in the figure that you draw. Clear with that? So this is the label diagram of a stomata as seen under the microscope when a mound of leaf is peeled and observed. Next question. First A part, mention any two components of blood. B part, trace the movement of oxygenated blood in the body. C part, write the function of valves present between atria and ventricles. D part, write one structural difference between the composition of artery and veins. So what we say about this is that two components of blood, we can say that the blood cells, blood corpuscles and plasma, right? Plasma is the fluid part of the blood, and the blood corpuscles, what we say, the erythrocytes, leukocytes, and the thrombocytes. All these are the blood components. And trace a path of oxygenated blood. So what? How is the oxygenated blood circuited? So it is circulated in what type of circulation? We have double circulation, right? So we have to trace the path of systemic circulation from that for the movement of oxygenated blood. Clear with that? And write the function of valves present between atria and ventricle. Wherever the valves are present, its function is to prevent the backflow of blood, right? So, one structural difference between the composition of artery and veins. So, one structural difference. What is about the structure? It is one is thick wall, one is thin wall. Valves are present, valves are absent, right? All these has the certain structural difference, and let's check the answers. The first part, any two of the components, right? Lymphocyte, basophil, eosinophil, monocyte, neutrophil. All these are the types of leukocytes or the WBCs. RBCs or erythrocytes, platelets or thrombocyte. What we can say, if anyone asks you to write the components of blood cell, what you should write is the blood corpuscle. Oh my god. Blood corpuscles or blood cells. And the other one, what you should write is plasma. Okay, so that all these components which you were asked will be included. So along with the plasma and the blood cells, all things will be included, and you may never lose such a mark there. Okay, the next part, this is a diagram or the path of double circulation in humans, right? Path of double circulation in humans. So from this, what we have to notice, the path of oxygenated blood. So oxygenated blood is given in the red diagram, and that is what the path of oxygenated blood. So after purification, oxygenated blood moves to the right auricle of the heart through pulmonary vein. What thickness? How to reduce? Oh my god. I hope it's fine. Yeah. And from right ventricle, it moves on to the right auricle. It moves on to the right ventricle, and from right ventricle through aorta, it just gets applied to all parts of our body. Okay, to liver, a vein entering liver with oxygenated blood is named as hepatic artery. Hepatic is the term associated with liver, and that enters the kidneys is known as the renal artery. So renal is the term that is associated with this what kidneys. Okay, same way the term pulmonary is associated with lungs, right? The term cardiac is associated with heart. The term neural is associated with brain, right? So all these are certain terms associated with certain organs of our human body, right? So like this is the path of oxygenated blood in our body. Clear with that? Then what is the function of valve? In order to prevent the backflow of blood and to ensure the unidirectional flow of blood. Okay, perfect and fine. Okay. So this is the what structural difference between arteries and veins. After writing the difference, if you draw this one of the figure showing arteries, veins, and capillaries, or arteries and veins, at least the structure, you may score easily. Clear with that? Okay then. The next question that's here is why and how does water enter continuously into root xylem? So why is water entering continuously in the root xylem? Because the water that, and it should be filled, right? For example, if we fill the water tank in our home, what happens? It gets filled once. No need of continuously filling. But in case of this plants, why this xylem is continuously allowing the water to enter and move, and what happens to this water that is entering? It is used for certain purposes, for photosynthesis, release the out as evaporation, that are in the surface is evaporated, transpiration, and in the early morning cuttation occurs. All these are the process through which water is lost from the plant body. So from that we can say that the xylem continuously allow the inward flow of water. So let's check the answer. So water is essential to all plant cells at all times. Xylem contains water. Root pressure and transpiration help to maintain a continuous flow of water. Okay, so due to transpiration, this water that is entered into the plant is lost out into the atmosphere. Clear with that? Next question. is explain the mechanism of photosynthesis. So what is this process of photosynthesis? It is a process by which green plants manufacture their food, right? So green plants manufacture their food in the form of glucose, right? So by releasing the oxygen, right? Okay, perfect and fine. So check what is this mechanism of this photosynthesis. So the first step that is used is the absorption of light energy by chlorophyll. Okay, so this chlorophyll should absorb the sunlight. What's its function? Absorption of sunlight, right? And this light energy is converted to chemical energy and it is split into water molecules, that is into hydrogen and oxygen. So water is split up into hydrogen ions, not hydrogen ions and oxygen. Okay, and the reduction of carbon dioxide to glucose. This is the mechanism, or these are the steps or the process happening in the process of photosynthesis. Clear with that? After that, the next question on the screen is describe the flow of blood through the heart of human beings, which I have always taught you, repeated in the 2 sessions when I taught this chapter at the beginning, right? And even in the one shot, I have said it very important. So let's take it. So this is a part of flow of blood in the human heart or in the human beings. So from the body, the deoxygenated blood is brought to the right atrium of the heart. Exactly. And one thing I made mistake is that when we said about this part, I already said right atrium to right ventricle. No, it's left atrium to left ventricle. Okay, very sorry for that. Okay, very sorry for that. Now look this. Okay, this is the flow through human heart. So the deoxygenated blood is brought through the inferior cava to the right atrium, and to right atrium guarded by right ventricle, it moves to right ventricle guarded by tricuspid valve. The blood moves to it, and from right ventricle it moves to the lungs for purification. And after purification, after purification, it is brought back to the left atrium of the heart through pulmonary vein, and from left atrium guarded by bicuspid valve to left ventricle, it moves on to left ventricle, and from left ventricle, the oxygenated blood is supplied to all parts of the body through the largest blood vessel known as the aorta. Clear with that? So this is the path of flow of blood through the human heart as well as through the human body. Clear with that? After that, we are moving on to the next question. Write the steps of reparation of temporary mount of a leaf field to observe stomata. All these are previous year questions of your board examinations. Clear with that? So now what is this? Right, steps of preparation of temporary mount of a leaf peel to observe stomata. So what is the answer you have to write? These are the steps. First step, you have to take, for example, you have to take any leaf. For example, now here it's given lily leaf. And after that, we have to folding of leaf and pulling apart. Look how it is done. Then leaf peel is taken. Then the leaf peel, and what we have to do is in the step C is that we take a petri dish with water and we have to put the leaf peels, and after that take the leaf peel and in a slide and just observe, and you will get this structure of leaf observed under a stomata showing guard cells, leaf cells as well as stomata. Clear? And yeah, that's all needed for you. Otherwise, there will be spongy mesophil layers, and all those things will be there. Okay, now you have to label all these things, these three. The next question. Leaves of healthy potted plant were coated with vaseline. Will this plant remain healthy for long? Give reasons for your answer. So what happens when the leaves of a healthy plant if we coat it with vaseline? The coating of Vaseline would block the stomata and hence oxygen for respiration cannot be taken. So look, the Vaseline jelly is coated in this leaf, and what happens next? Carbon dioxide for photosynthesis cannot be taken. Sunlight cannot be absorbed by this chlorophyll, and transpiration even cannot occur. So what is transpiration? The loss of water from the aerial parts of the plant. So it cannot be observed too, right? So therefore, what happens if all these processes are not happening? The plant will not remain healthy for long. Clear with that? And that's all for the amazing session. First question bank discussion of this life process. Okay, so that's all. Well done, guys. Thank you all. Thank you for your patient listening. And next time we will be coming with another super cool, super awesome, and absolutely amazing session of question banks from how do organism reproduce at least in 2 or 3 parts. Okay, with very less number of questions in each part. So focus and kindly give attention to at least these questions. Clear with that? And that's all. It's me living from your favorite and my favorite Biopoint Stream, the world of bio. Bye bye.